we actually hear each other. But so hopefully you never actually have to be speaking in a classroom with all of the noise. But I've asked each table to kind of have somebody ready to share. What are the teaching strategies we have to share with each other right now? How do we help students become successful with these types of problems, right? So, I saw a hand up. Why don't we have this group start? Okay.
Well, we've talked about it, and we...
Can everybody hear him? Speak a little louder. They can't hear you.
Okay, I'll try. What I said was, we tried to look back and see what are the basic skills or steps needed to resolve problems like this. One of the first one is to be able to read the problem and comprehend what it says. And one strategy that I've used is to read the problem sentence by sentence. Don't read the whole problem, read the first sentence and make sense out of it. If you cannot, underline the words that are foreign to you, that are new. And then once you do that, and you can get together with the groups and come up with the meaning of each word, find what is given, and then find what is needed. And then see how you can use what is given, work them out to come up with what is needed.
Okay, you want to add?
So I want to add to that. So I was looking at the first problem and thinking about my students. If I give that student to a particular class that I have, I wouldn't see anything on their paper. So Leo suggested that a way to approach that class is to piecemeal the question. Don't present it to them as is, break it up, and do parts of it, at a time. And then when all parts are done, bring it together. So that's one way, I got from him to approach that's the problem.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I'm looking at it in this way, just like what my colleagues just said. You do by annotation. They annotate the problem, circle that. Looking at problem number 2, 12 students earn an A. That is part of something. So what is it? They write what it means to them. 25%. That is part of a whole. Right? Then what is the question asking me to do? To find the total. So they do this annotation. That means they're building the context out of making sense out of the problem before they can synthesize it, either by equation. This part is this 25 out of something, or 12 out of something. So 12 over x is equal 25%. So what does the 25% mean? That's 25 over 100. Then you get your proportional equation and you solve it in the routine way. That is one way. That's how I see it.
Okay. Okay, let me ask this group to go ahead and, again, what are the teaching strategies you could share with us right now?
You could say that. Well, I like what you came up with. He said to actually show that, I think he said with money, so the 4 kids would have $1,850, $1,850, $850, then get 5 other kids, split up the $80 equally, and then see what the difference is each way. Visually show it. Because I think from listening to all of you, we all agree it's a wordy problem. Whether you're breaking it up or writing something or underlining the key stuff. Oh, is this really a close-up? But I think visually showing this problem, because it's very wordy, especially probably for most of our learners, especially the L students and students who have a hard time reading that many words at once.
Okay, anything else? Again, one of the things I heard you guys talking about was, if this problem didn't have that decimal in it, would it be more friendly to these students? And does that mean that it's helpful? So I heard somebody saying that make the numbers friendlier, and does it help them get into it, right? Okay, how about this group?
I mean, in my opinion, there are two teaching strategies that we can achieve from this problem. One is make sense and look back. Yeah, because even though whatever procedure and the strategy students choose, let them go and finish the problem. When they finish it, then ask them, it really makes sense, and if it doesn't, then look back. Go back to the problem and see what you're missing. So I think that let them encourage to finish the problem, whatever way they choose or whatever they think, without interrupting them in the middle of the problem. So then they can see that why they're getting a wrong answer or why their answer does not make sense.
Can literature play, if any?
Okay. So we've heard a few different things, and we can kind of, again, how do we take back? What do you want to take back that you've heard perhaps on solving some of these, right? So are there things to share about what are strategies around reading and understanding the problem, right? We like to say create a diagram, but making them physical with 4 kids getting up in front is maybe taking that diagram one step further, right? So are we making it a practice that they get into the idea of making sense of it, right? And so again, that pull between the reading and them making sense. Are we, there's interesting questions about, if I think about a student, do I think the student ultimately could do the problem? Versus, okay, now I put them in a testing situation and they're anxious about things. And what happens in that moment? Right? So these are a couple of things for us to be thinking about in terms of helping them to strategize and work when they get onto that exam. Okay. We're going to shift now into just looking at a sample assessment that really kind of connects back to the police shooting problem in some ways. This is kind of the same mathematics. The same mathematics in some ways as the police shooting. So if we thought that was a reading intensive problem, I'll give you a chance to start reading the problem. Okay. It's also in the paper print. Oh, thank you.
That we can then share it with everybody, the rest of the all of you and the you have 20 minutes.
And one thing I'd like to say about the diagram, which we discussed on Monday, is that if we can decide on one where we all can use it in your classes, that's what we'll do. Something